ever run in daylight. Minding your own business, dress plain, headphones in, sun out, world quiet, and get cuffed like a felon for nothing but jogging while black. Yeah, that happened. It happened to me. Not in some wild city, but in Brookfield, Ohio, a town so clean you could eat off the sidewalk, where the flowers are always in line and every mailbox still believes in Santa Claus. And if you're listening now thinking, well, she must have done something, buckle up because you're about to see how easy it is to become a threat for simply existing in the wrong skin. So picture this. I'm pacing myself through a ritzy part of town, sweat darkening my shirt. Music just thumping soft in my ear, nothing but houses with 4-car garages and folks who probably pay more for dog grooming than I spend on rent. I've got no badge, no gun, not even an ID on me because that's protocol when you're FBI undercover, and today I'm tracking leads on a human trafficking case. It's high stakes, nobody can know who I am. But that doesn't matter to Sergeant Dean Huxley, who rolls up on me in his cruiser like he owns the place, hot coffee in hand, radio buzzing with boredom, scanning the block for anything out of place. Except today, out of place looks like me. Dean's that kind of cop who hasn't been told no in years, round belly, mirrored shades, voice that's always got a bark in it. He spots me, slows to a crawl, studies me like a puzzle he never asked for. There's a silver Tesla in a driveway somebody's pride and joy, and I jog past it, barely glancing. He doesn't like that. He likes even less that I don't give him a nod or a smile. To him, confidence without apology looks suspicious, especially when it's coming from a black woman in the wrong zip code. He pulls over, idles under an old oak, and watches. I feel his eyes, even over the music, so I slow down, wipe my forehead, try not to look back. But there's only so much you can do when you're being hunted for nothing more than jogging on a Tuesday morning. He finally pulls out and blocks the sidewalk right in front of me, exhaust fumes cutting through the birdsong. One earbud out, hand steady, I turn to face him. "Morning," he says flat, accusatory. "Morning," I answer, keeping it neutral. "Where you coming from?" I motion down the sidewalk. "Out for a run, 2 blocks that way." "Live around here?" he asks, no friendliness. "Yes." "ID on you?" "I don't carry ID when I jog." "Didn't know that was a crime." He raises a brow. "It is when you're part of an active investigation." "Oh, we're investigating joggers now." My heart's steady, but there's a knot in my stomach. I've been here before. I know how quickly this can turn. Got a report about a silver Tesla. Owner says that someone's been lurking. "You passed that house." I almost laugh. It's a sidewalk. I passed a dozen houses. That Tesla's worth more than most people make in a year. "You sure you weren't casing it?" This is what they spin nothing into something, then wait for you to snap. If you get loud, you're aggressive. If you're calm, you're hiding something. So I just breathe. A couple neighbors are out, pretending to check mail, pretending not to stare. I see it all, the calculation, the fear, the not my problem written across their faces. Because they know what's happening and they know which side of history their silence lands on. I tell Dean, I haven't done anything wrong, and I don't have to show ID just because you're curious. He doesn't like that. His hand drifts toward his radio. Dispatch, code 12. Non-compliant, possible threat, send backup. Sirens in the distance. I can't run, I can't blow my cover, but I can't let him railroad me either. Dean grins just a little. He thinks he's about to show me who's boss. I whisper in my mind, you already have. You just don't know it. Backup arrives, rookie officer. Name tag, says Cruz. Young, nervous, trying to hide it. Dean barks at her to back him up, tells her to stand down if she has questions. She glances my way, uncertainty written all over her. Instead of stepping in, she quietly turns on her body cam. Now Dean's fired up. Show me your ID or you're under arrest for obstruction. You're outside your authority. I say, calm as ever. I haven't committed a crime. You're only doing this because I'm black in a white neighborhood. You're making this difficult, he spits. No, you are, I reply. Title 42, Section 1983. Civil Rights, Color of Law. You want to keep pushing. He blinks, wasn't expecting a lesson in law. Neighbors inch closer, phones out, waiting for the worst. Dean's had enough. He cuffs me right there, rough and unnecessary. It hurts. The cuffs by my wrists, but I keep my head high. Kid on the curb starts live streaming. They really cuffed her, he says, disbelief clear. She was just jogging. Dean sneers. Lady, you don't get to dictate how this goes. You think you're smarter than the badge. I just raise a brow. I am. He snaps, tightens the cuffs, throws in a "you people" for good measure, and now the crowd's really paying attention. You cuffed me because I didn't bow. I say, voice even. That's not policing. That's ego. Now something wild happens. A man in a blue suit appears, cool as a cucumber, steps from shade, and just stands there, unbothered. What's going on here, officer? He asks Dean. The tension shifts. Dean puffs up, tries to keep control, but the man just quietly makes a phone call, some kind of protocol. Within minutes, a black SUV rolls up. Federal agents step out, no badges needed. Their authority's obvious. Director Stanton? The agent asks. Dean's face drops. The truth crashes, and he just cuffed the FBI director in front of half the neighborhood, on camera, for jogging while black. Everything changes. The agents don't rush me away like a victim. They treat me like the boss I am. The rookie, Officer Cruz, steps forward, voice trembling but sure. This isn't over. You're going to answer for all of it. Dean can't defend himself. No words left. The crowd knows. America knows. The video goes viral by nightfall. A tech influencer posts it. They didn't know they were cuffing the FBI director. We did. News breaks. Talk shows rage. Old complaints against Dean's surface. Every buried injustice finds the sunlight. Kids watch. Mothers cry. A little girl in Atlanta writes to me, "My daughter saw you stand tall. Maybe she can still be FBI someday." Inside the bureau, they want to bury the scandal for the sake of my operation, but I won't let them. Was I cuffed because I forgot my ID or because I was black? I demand. The silence says everything. Nationwide, protests spark, hashtags trend, politicians call for reform. In Brookfield, lawsuits pile up, the chief resigns, DOJ audits the whole department. And I stand at the podium for the first time, looking America dead in the eye. I'm the FBI director, and I was a threat not for what I did, but for who I am. But I don't call for revenge. I call for a law to limit stop and frisk, an oversight board for real-time misconduct. I call for justice that isn't a privilege, but a promise. Dean loses his badge, his reputation, and the weight of all the lives he trampled finally lands on him. He tries to type an apology to a kid he once ruined, but in the end, he deletes it. Silence is all he's got now. As for me, I go back to work. I look at the photo on my desk, generations of black women in the bureau, each one proof that change is possible, but never inevitable. I tell every kid who's watching, every mother, every officer tired of looking away, they won't erase us this time. So let me ask you, what would have happened if I wasn't the director? What if I was your neighbor, your friend, your child? What if it was you? That's the question we all need to answer. Drop your city in the comments. Tell me where you're watching from, and let's talk about what justice looks like where you live, because this story isn't over, and it's on all of us to write the ending.